Hey, y'all. Hey, it's your girl, Charlie of Coffee with Charlie. And we are in the house with Miss Rachella Manns. Everybody clap. Woo! Hey. Oh my gosh. I am so excited to sit here with you and to spend some time with you. We've had an opportunity not too long ago to kind of sit together and get to know each other a little bit. And when we spoke face to face and just got to know each other a little bit, I was like, I want to talk to her on Coffee with Charlie because our stories are so important. Our stories are so important. And we don't go through what we go through for naught. So I think that your story is something that somebody needs to hear, even if it's just one person. So thank you so much for being here with me. So can you just introduce yourself to the people, give us your full name, and maybe tell us a little bit of something about yourself?
Sure. Hi, everybody. My name is Rachella Manns. I am a wife. I have two beautiful children. I am a hospice social worker. I am a caregiver of my dad and my aunt at the moment. I've written a book, Cancer Coping with a Loved One. It's about my mother. She passed away in 2010. So, and I just love to encourage people and, help motivate. That's me.
So your mom passed in 2010?
No, 2016. I'm sorry.
Okay, because I was like, I read the book. I read the book.
2016.
It's okay, girl. It is okay. So before we get into this a little bit too much, let me just tell y'all, because I know y'all see that banner down there. It says, grab your cup and pull up and sit back and relax. So yes, on Coffee with Charlie, I really do be having my coffee. Okay. And so I made me a fresh pot to sit down to speak with Miss Manns on tonight. And so go grab what you sipping on, whether it's coffee, tea, water, juice, because I even got my water too while y'all playing. I got me some ice water in this one. So I got my 2 coffee cups that I'm going to tell you later on how you can get one that looks just like mine and support me, Coffee with Charlie. Support. So we're going to get into this book. Oh my gosh. Show y'all the book. This is what it looks like. Rachella, can you tell them where they can get this book at?
Yes, so you can get this book off of Amazon. Just type in Rachella Manns. Also, Walmart. .com. You can get off of there. I believe it's just the ebook on Walmart.
Okay.
Excuse me. And so I have the Kindle version and, the paperback.
Okay. So I have to say, y'all, before y'all go get y'all's book, I have to say that I did shed some tears. So I do want to point out too that something that we have in common is that we're both hospice social workers. I'm currently by title, the bereavement coordinator for the hospice I work with, but I am a social worker and I do hospice social work, and that is my background for many years. So I think that may be part of our kindred spirit.
Connection, yes.
So
and we also shared the story. I'm sorry, we shared the stage 1 February.
Yes, we did. We shared the stage at a women's empowerment event, and we were both speakers on the panel. And so that's actually where we met for the first time. And so,
yes.
And every woman that was on the panel told basically a testimony, and then spoke to that testimony and ministered to the women that were in the room. So, yeah. So look at God.
Yes.
So do you have a book in front of you?
I do.
Good. Because I have some pages that I marked. So She wrote the book. She calls it Cancer, Coping with a Loved One, a Tribute to My Mother. And so really, she's sharing in the book her journey with her mom, her relationship with her mom, but her journey with her mom, from the time of her cancer diagnosis to going to the appointments with her, even up to time for her to go on hospice and being present in the final moments. And so, and then at the very end, she writes a letter to her mom. So it's very moving. And one thing that you said in here on page 7 was, I began to question God, something you should never do. So I want to address that for a minute, because I am a grief counselor. That is what I currently do for the hospice that I work with, I'm bereavement coordinator. And I've said it many times in my counseling room, but I even said it just today to someone. Who better to question than God? He has all the answers. He has all the answers. Who better to question than God? Who better to pour out our emotions onto, whether it's anger, frustration, tiredness, hurt, pain? Who better to pour it all onto but God? You know? And I've, in addition to people saying, especially us, is, oh, you should never question God. Oh, you shouldn't get mad at God. I don't know why not. I don't know why you not get mad at God. And here's why. First of all, we are made in his image, right? He gets angry. And he did not tell us we cannot get angry. He said, don't sin when you get angry. So I just want to say, it's okay. I believe in my heart of hearts, it's okay to be mad at God. It's okay to question God. And just for the very reasons I just said, we're made in his image. He gets angry, so he understands us. And then when we bring Jesus into it, right, that part of God, God the Son, that's exactly why he sent Jesus to us, so that Jesus can feel and understand everything that we go through here in our human experience. And so that we can lay our burdens down at his feet. So whether it's grief, whether it's anger, whether it's just sorrow from whatever different angle it comes from, because sorrow comes in many different forms. Grief comes in different forms. Frustration and anger comes from different avenues. So wherever it's coming from, it's okay to give it right back to him. It's okay.
Right. I agree with that. I agree with that. Like I say, when I was going through the emotions, I was all over the place, when my mom was here. And then when I decided to write the book, I was still learning and still going through, emotions and stuff. And so, and now I know, and it makes so much sense as you explained it, because we do question God, we have to question God because we don't know everything. We don't understand everything. And so God gives us that discernment to see things in a different light, and so, but I thank you so much for explaining that, because when you do read my book, you may get some things like, hold on now, but I was just in a place of, not knowing, you know what I'm saying? And so, but yeah, I agree with that 100%. So thank you.
Yes. But listen, let me just tell my viewers, y'all saw me do this because I'm at home. And I got family. I got grandkids running around. It's all right though, because we're gonna do this interview and all is gonna be well. And if you hear a little something in the background, that's all right too. So kids gonna only be quiet for so long. So I think I marked something in every chapter. And I wanted to wrap my arms around her and just hold her. I didn't want to seem like I was weak and didn't have it together because I did not want her to fall. You said, people, that is the wrong thing to do. That's on page 10. And I want you to speak to that, but I want to just say, I agree. It is so important to feel our emotions, express our emotions, and But I don't want to speak too much on that. I want you to speak on that.
Yeah. So during that moment, because I was always like the strong
Mm-hmm.
person, um, and still is, and so of course I didn't want to just, fall apart. And because if I fell apart, my mama, I knew she was gonna fall apart. And it was just so this whole situation was just unknown,
Mm-hmm, I
But of
do.
course, when I look back, I think during that time, I don't know if I was, we were in the hospital during that time when we got the diagnosis of what stage she was in.
Diagnosis.
Yeah, when not diagnosis, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
diagnosis, the stage. Um, of course I wanted to hold my mom, and but she seemed like she
Mm-hmm.
was okay. And it's kind of like
Yep.
when your loved one feel like they okay, then it's like, okay, we good. But if she would have broke down, then I would have been there to hold her. But we both trying to get strong women.
For each other,
But
strong
in
for
my
each other.
mind, and today, I wish I would have just held her
Yeah.
anyway, because that's what I was there for. So I
Yeah.
wish I would have showed more emotions. And
Mm-hmm.
I encourage everyone, if you're in that situation, show whatever emotions that God gives you. Show
Yes.
those emotions.
Yes.
Tell your loved one how much you love and care about them.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely show that emotion. Give them a hug. I knew she probably needed that.
Yeah.
I knew she probably needed that. So, but yeah,
So I
that's
giggled
just
a
kind of
little
how.
bit. I'm sorry.
Oh,
So I
I'm
giggled
done.
a little bit. Yeah, I giggled a little bit because my father had he had a tumor in his small intestine, and it had not metastasized or anything. So we had surgery to get it taken out. And I say we because, I was there every step of the way. And I
Mm-hmm.
actually took him out to Illinois and to have certain things done before I brought him back home to Oklahoma. But a year later, after the surgery, then he did have cancer, and it was already metastasizing in his body.
Oh,
And so when we went to the ER, and the lady said, she said, "I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm just going to tell you, the cancer is back and it's spread it." I let out this dramatic wail. Like, it was so dramatic. I don't even know where it came from. I was just like, oh, I was so devastated. Girl, my daddy was,
right.
he was looking at me like, if you don't shut up and stop. He was, and he was just so calm. But I think part of it too was we had already talked about it. If the cancer
Mm-hmm.
ever did come back, if anything ever changed with him. My dad was 81 when he passed. So he was an older dad. So we had already talked about, we knew that we would go on hospice. We knew that we wasn't going to do anything, aggressive,
Aggressive treatment.
because
Mm-hmm.
because that surgery was very aggressive. It was a Whipple surgery. So it was very
Oh,
aggressive.
wow.
We just knew that we weren't going to put his body through that type of stress anymore. But I think when people come to terms with where they are in their life and where they are with
Right.
what's ailing them, that I think that's where that
Yeah.
comes from for them. So like for your mother, for my father, there was a sense of peace. Thank God that this is my journey
Yeah.
and I accept it. And
Mm-hmm.
what's going to be is going to be, and God is in control. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely is what my mom told me. I said, "Mom," I said, "how did you feel?" And she did tell me. She said, "I just felt a whoosh of like a wind come over me."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting here looking like, okay, I
Yeah.
didn't get it. I didn't understand it. And I'm like, wow, I'm sitting here trying to hold it together. And my mom, she got this piece. So
Mm-hmm.
it was just kind of crazy to me. I think that's why now I focus so much on having peace in my life, you
Mm-hmm.
know,
Yes, girl.
um, because that sense of knowing, of having that peace, and not too much worrying and things like that, is just it's a different type of feeling.
Yes,
Things
ma'am.
can be
Yes,
on,
ma'am.
you know chaotic around you, you know what I'm saying, in chaos,
Mhm.
but you're at peace. And that's what I strive for every day. And
Every day.
it brings me back to my mom during that situation.
Yes.
So
So when
yeah.
we met, I had hair, and I don't know if you ever noticed, like on social media or anything, that I had cut my hair, and it was like super short for a while. And because
Okay.
what happened was, one of my really best friends had cancer and she lost her hair. And so, just like you talked about in your book on page 13,
Mhm.
you wanted to cut your hair bald. And so I
Yeah.
was thinking about going bald. I did not, but I got really close to it. And so this
Mhm.
is the stages of growing back. And I think you said I was thinking about cutting my hair bald. Man, thinking about it, I wish I would have, but instead I cut my hair short. So that's what I did. Looking back and thinking that's not the same. I should have cut my hair bald for my mama. Please, people, if you have it on your heart to do something to help someone or to show love, do it. Do it. I
Yes.
think that that's important.
Um, yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You go ahead.
I just feel like if I had that opportunity again, I would cut it off. I would
Hmm.
cut it off. I
Yes.
would.
Just to be
Yeah.
supportive, right? Just to show that support.
Yes,
And
support. Yes, and just show that love. Like, Mama, we in this together. You
yes.
know, I
And I think
definitely
it's
would
important.
have.
Yes. And I think it's important to follow our first minds, our first heart, and not to second guess ourselves.
Yes.
I think when we second guess
Mm-hmm.
ourselves and then we move forward, there's that hindsight of woulda, coulda, shoulda. So definitely, if something is
Mm-hmm.
on your heart, something is on your mind, just do it, you know, and
Yeah.
take care of the details. Yeah, got to take care of the
Right
details.
later. Yeah, because
Because
you
hair grows
regret it.
back.
You know. Yeah, you regret. You know, you kind of have that regret. You know, of dang, I should have done that. You know. So yeah. I would have
Mhm.
done it, you know. Of course, back then I think I cut my hair short and it was cute, you know, and I was thinking later, like, here my mom is bald and here I got this short, nice, cute hairstyle. Like this, that ain't
Right.
the same.
It's
But
not
of
the
course I
same.
didn't know, you know.
Hmm. Hmm.
But the short, I never went that short before. So to
Hmm.
me at that moment, it was something. But as I look back, it wasn't the same.
Yeah. Yeah. So, do you have anything that you want to add to what we've talked about so far, or anything that has come to mind that you want to bring up?
No, not really. I mean, I'm just kind of going with the flow of, you know, some of the things that you have highlighted. So that's
Yeah.
good.
Yes. Okay. And I
Yeah.
also want to point out,
Mhm.
you guys, that in her book, at the beginning of each chapter, each segment, she starts out with a title and then a scripture that fits that title, and then that also kind of fits like what she's about to talk about. So I like that aspect of it too, as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
So yeah. So on this part that I have underlined, it's on page 17. Without going back and reading the details, it says, my whole thought process was that she took chemo before and it healed her. So let's start chemo again so we can get rid of this small cell. If I knew then what I know now, I probably would have told her, just wait to see if it grows, not knowing how the chemo was going to affect her in the long run. So she did start chemo the second time.
Yes.
It
Yes.
was a tough battle.
She did.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was. Because, you know, and that's just how it is, you know, it's like, you know, the first time it wasn't necessarily smooth sailing, but she got through it. And then I think it was like an 8 month she was on chemo and
Mhm.
then went back in. She was cancer free. You
Mhm.
know, I believe that was 2012. And then 2014, that's when it came back. And
Mhm.
I wasn't a hospice social worker then. So I didn't know anything about like cancer. I didn't know anything about anything. And so I'm just like, you know, Mama, we might, you know, we should try it, you know, go ahead because it helped the first time, you know.
Mhm.
So that's one of the regrets that I have too, you know. I really wish we wouldn't have went that route.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of waited a little bit, because to me, I feel like, the chemo, it makes you sick, and it's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
things, negative things
A
for
lot of
me, I
wear and
feel.
tear, yeah, on the
Yes.
body, but
So,
also giving yourself grace, right? Like you said, you didn't have certain education yet, and you're just thinking about, I want my mama to live, so if the chemo's going to help, let's do that. So giving yourself
right.
grace, and just not knowing and just not understanding, and
Yeah.
yeah.
So I just, the encouragement, like for other people, just, do a little bit of research, really sit and talk to your loved one and ask them, what do they think?
Mm-hmm.
And, just think about it. Just really think about it and have your questions ready, because for me, I would have if I know what I know now, I would have encouraged my mom to just kind of wait and see how things
Yeah.
go. I really do feel in my heart that the chemo, it did help along the prognosis and her symptoms that she started having. I really do think
Mhm.
that.
Y'all, I just want y'all to know, if y'all hear me and sniff a little bit, listen, my allergies is kicking my butt, and I'm really over here trying to hold it together. We are in Oklahoma.
Hey, me
Shoot,
too.
man. And so listen, y'all just pray for me. So another really good point that I think that you made in your book, and this is something that you and I have witnessed, not just firsthand, but in the work that we do, and it's on page 19, is when you are already sick, it is important to be around positivity, peace, and happiness. If not, then you are slowly dying inside. And man, I just 100% agree with that. There's already so much going on in the mind, the body, you know, and it's just when you're around negativity or people are bringing in negativity, that energy it's real. It's real.
Man,
It's,
yes.
yeah, you got to command your atmosphere, what you need, and
Mm-hmm.
how. Uh, I was going to say, I thought we were froze up.
Yeah, we were. Yeah. So, did you ask me a question? I'm sorry, it kind of cut out a little bit.
Hold on. All right,
I
can you
can
hear
see you
me?
clearly now. Yes,
I can't
it's
hear you.
good. Oh, you can't?
Uh
I didn't do anything, so I don't know.
Your microphone's on, and y'all don't have to excuse
Yeah.
us because just for a minute, I'm gonna click your mic and then click it again. I don't know what happened. Hmm. You didn't hit your mute button, did you? Yeah, you're muted.
Okay, we're back on.
Okay, now say
Can you hear
something.
me now? Can you hear
No,
me?
I ain't hear. But you were muted, but I don't know why it didn't come back on my side. Huh. Hmm.
Can you hear me?
I don't know.
Can you hear me?
We were doing
Oh,
so good.
yes. I don't
Hold
know
on,
what
y'all. Bear
happened.
with us, because we're gonna figure this out. So I wonder if you go out and come back in.
Okay.
Oh, let me do this. Okay, now say something. Oh. Hey y'all, hey, it's your girl Charlie of Coffee with Charlie, and we are having technical difficulties, but we're gonna keep pushing through this. I'm gonna have Miss Rachella go out and then come back in, and we're gonna keep on pushing through this and keep having this conversation, because I think it's an important conversation, and I think that it really is going to help somebody, and or just minister to somebody, help somebody along their journey, for themselves with their loved one, whatever or not that looks like. So we're just going to keep
going. Can you hear me now?
Keep on keeping on. That's what we'll do. So give me a second. I'm trying to get her back in here. And when it is a good word, when God is in it, when there's something that someone can get from it, learn from it, grow from it, be ministered to, the devil gonna do what the devil gonna do. So y'all gonna be like, it's just technical difficulties. It ain't the devil. It's the devil. He all up in my tech. He is all up in my tech. Let me message her. She's here. I see her. I want her to know that I see her, but we just split. Listen, viewers, stretch forth your hands. Satan, we rebuke you in the name of Jesus. All up out of this interview. Get gone. Get gone. Seriously, in the name of Jesus, get gone. So we can give these people the word. Mm-hmm. I see her, y'all. But I don't know what's going on. Let me see if there's. Let me chat with her for a second. Okay, y'all, she said she's going to switch from her computer to her phone. So we're going to give her a second to do that. And I'm so sorry for these technical difficulties, but I'm not going to stop, press forward, and I'm not going to stop this interview. And if I have to finish it out myself, just talking to you all from what I read in her book, how I understand it in her book, how it ministered to me and spoke to me, and that's exactly what I'm going to do, because there are some really good points in her book that she made, especially like from the mother-daughter perspective and just that mother-daughter relationship. But parental and child relationships are so important in general. And so I just love that she was able to go on this journey with her mother and walk on this journey with her mother, and be there for her the way that she was there for her. And I got to walk along my father on his cancer journey with him, myself, and my children. And so that was nice for us. And it's a blessing and it's an honor to be able to love on and support someone so close to you that you love so much on their journey, and to walk with them. And I'm sure for them, it feels good not to be alone. It feels like a blessing not to be alone. And I know for a fact my father didn't want to be alone on that journey, because he expressed that to me. And as I talked about in the different part of the interview earlier, like being open and honest about expressing yourself. And she says she sees me, but I can't see her. So just being open and honest about expressing yourself, and saying what's on your heart, saying what's on your mind, and just kind of going from there. So give me 1 second, y'all. We're gonna get her back in there. So I see her here. It says add to stage, but it's not adding her. She says she sees me. So I don't know what's going on. I'm getting hot, y'all. Okay, so since you can see me, Rachella, I'm just gonna end this, and we're both gonna go out and come back in. Okay, so I'm just gonna end this because I can see you. I don't know why it's not adding you to the stage. Whew, making me have a hot flash. And sucker, I don't even want to end it. Don't go nowhere, sister. I'm gonna figure it. I've never had this kind of difficulty. So I know the devil is a lie. I'm gonna exit out of StreamYard so you won't see me.
But I don't remember because I was trying to.
Yeah,
you know.
Okay, y'all. Oh my gosh, I have never had that type of issue before on an interview, but here we are, and we're just gonna keep going. Listen, your girl ain't into all that
technology.
Yes, y'all. Just bear with us, but because we're just gonna keep going. There's a lot of fruit in what has been said, and there's a lot more fruit to come. So we just gonna keep going. Y'all keep on sipping on what you sipping on and keep on tuning in with us. But thank you for bearing with us. Oh my gosh, I've never had that happen.
Now.
So let's see. I think I just underlined that part for me. And there's another thing that you said that I have often said within my family, for different persons that were ill, and definitely depending on their age, and even in doing the work that we do, right? Hospice. And we know that our patients are going to die. That's the whole purpose of coming on to hospice, is to get comfortable on your journey to your transition. So on page 31, you said, I told my mom that she was going to be healed, whether she was here on earth or in heaven. My mom cried and told me she was proud of me. I'll never forget that moment and those words. Girl, let me tell you, I cried reading your book. And y'all, the devil don't want me to be great. He don't want me to be great tonight, but I'm gonna be great.
Look,
and I'm not.
We are.
And I'm just going on. Oh my gosh. Okay. Whew, help us, Jesus.
We're touching on some things tonight. You know what I'm saying? The devil don't like it.
And he does not. Stop it. But it's so true, everybody. It is so true that unfortunately, we are all going to die on this side of heaven. And while we're here on this side of heaven, we're going to have trials and tribulations, and we're going to have sickness in our body. And sometimes we will be healed on this side of glory. And sometimes our healing comes over in glory. Yes. Woo, Jesus. And that's why it's so important to know not only who you are, but whose you are, and to be in relationship. So a lot of folk
That
need
is.
to get away from religion and get into relationship. Oh,
Yes, yes.
girl.
Or even just spirituality, the spirit. But yes, like I touched on my book, and I'm so glad you brought that up. But that's one of the things that I had asked God for like 2 weeks before my mother passed. I mean, I was broken. I didn't know what to do, who to turn, I knew who to turn to, but I was just broken. I knew what was happening, but I just didn't want to accept it. And
Yeah.
it was Wednesday night at church. I mean, I shouted out to God and asked God to just help me come into my life and give me peace and all these things. And it was just like the floodgates just of the spirit just came poured over me.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, God, it's like God gave me that discernment of your mom. Your mom is gonna be okay.
Yeah.
That mama's gonna be okay. And it was just like the peace that came over me. And that was something that I asked God for. Like when I tell you, when people say, walk by faith and not by sight, it's so easy to say that. But
But
do we
that's
really do
Bible.
that?
That's Bible. Right. And that's why practicing your faith is so important, right? You gotta strengthen
Yes.
every time we're going through something. So what's been my thing for 2024 is not to say, who, if it ain't one thing, it's another. But I'm going from
Yes.
glory to glory because the word tells us we're going from glory to glory. Same thing. I walk by faith and not by sight. That's Bible. It's not cliche. It's not something somebody made up. That's the word of God.
Mm-hmm.
Walk by faith
Mm-hmm.
and not by sight. But it takes time to develop your faith. You know, and as we go
Yes.
through things in our lives, our faith gets strengthened when we see God's hand move and we understand that it's God moving in that situation, and it strengthens
Mm-hmm.
our faith. And faith, just like anything, honestly, is a choice. Am I going to choose
Mm-hmm.
to walk in faith, to believe by faith and not by sight? Or am I going to choose to believe by sight and I'm not seeing what I want to see? I'm not hearing what I want to hear, you know? And we're not going
Mm-hmm.
to always understand God's plan. And I think as
Right.
human beings, that's it's not only scary, but it just feels like a sense of out of control. And we want to be able to control, what's going on with us. And sometimes we just
Right.
cannot. We're just not in control.
Right. And at the same time, it's like giving something to God, like I had to give the situation to him. And that's what I did at that moment, so that right there helped me. I didn't know what was coming,
Yes.
but that helped me to get there and to be able to let my mom know that we're going to be okay. She's going to be okay,
Yes.
so
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Amen. Yep. I know I kind of felt a little sad. I'm not there, or I'm somewhere around there, because I have underlined the part where she wanted a hug and she sat up and you gave her a hug and she cried and you said that your heart was broken. But somewhere in her process of her transition, you had wanted her to speak to your brother. And
Mm-hmm.
I think it was one of your aunts ended up calling someone, and you think that she thought maybe it was her son, your brother. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah.
And
And I guess
as hospice social workers, we, when we're waiting on people's families to come and the patients, they're just lingering on. They,
yes,
we usually say they're waiting on somebody,
yep, yep.
So,
But it's true. They're
but
waiting to say goodbye to somebody. They're waiting to hear somebody's voice or
voice.
whatever. So just so you all are aware, research does show that when an individual is dying, that hearing is the last thing to go. So when we have patients who are just laying in the bed, they're not speaking anymore, they're not eating anymore, they're really just sleeping, like, it is believed through research that they can still hear if in fact they were never deaf. And and so we always encourage people, families and loved ones, to talk to their person and to say whatever they need to say to them. And what we have found is when people are lingering, like everything about them says that they should be gone from this world. Their breathing patterns, their vital signs, everything about them says that they should be gone from this world physically, but they're not. It's usually because they are waiting on somebody and they want to hear their voice. They want to hear from them. They want to know that they're okay. And sometimes, I don't know if you've noticed this, Rachella, but sometimes they just want to be left alone. We have had patients that have been overstimulated and everybody's like, why they ain't gone yet? And we're like, walk away. Just walk away. Give them a minute.
Yeah.
And usually the patient will die because they are overstimulated or they just want to do it by themselves. Some people want to do it with somebody there and some people want to do it alone. So we have had to say to people, just walk away, and they'll walk away and the patient will let go. So death and dying is, it's no cut and dry, so to speak.
No. There's no easy way to deal with, especially with a loved one like, you've experienced as well, but, God, he gives us these journeys for a reason, I'm still learning, I'm still growing. And I just thank God that, because I feel like it was a reason for me to be a hospice social worker. I truly believe the way my journey even has been, I feel like this is what God intended for me to be in. So I just pray that my book, continues to help to help people to realize certain things, and for me, I'm always up for questions, if you just like Charlie, had highlighted some things. Now, I don't agree with that. I'm learning as I go, and I love to hear feedback.
Yes.
So I'm, if you have any feedback, just hit me up, on Facebook, my email, whatever, I love to learn and I want to be able to help and encourage people in any kind of way I can.
Yeah. But your book is your book, darling. When you wrote it, that's how you feel. So in the beginning, I just wanted to share that portion of it that, I think God wants us to talk to him, and however we say it, that's how we gotta say it. And he understands. He understands us better than we understand ourselves. So yeah.
So it's pretty much normal to question God.
Yes, I think so. Normal. I believe so. Because again, like I said earlier, like who better to question? Because he literally has all the answers. He literally has all the answers. He knows it all. Ain't that what he told us? So another thing that I love about your book, and on page 38, and it's a really, really great nugget, just for people in general, relationally. It says, my mom grew up not knowing how to show love consistently, like I was needing. I wanted that love with my mom, so I showed her how to love and to love me. I can remember every night I used to kiss my mom on her cheek and tell her, I love you, mama. Good night. I never missed a night unless I was at someone else's house. I'm glad I was that kind of kid growing up. I was very overprotective of my mother. You would have thought I was her bodyguard. I never fought my mom for that because she didn't know that's how she was raised. As time went on, my mom and I grew together and became best friends as mother and daughter. Treat people how you want to be treated. That's one of my mottos. I absolutely love that. Absolutely love that. And I just think that, to have that kind of thought process as a child, that was a gift from God in and of itself. But I think even too, as adults, for those of you all who still have your parents, whether it's your mother or your father, and it's something that you still need and want from them, show them how to give that to you. Give it to them and demonstrate that to them and be the example, right? And I think that
Yes,
that can
yes,
go across the board in any relationship, in marriages, in friendships, or whatever. Demonstrate to the other person what it is that you need from them and want from them, and do unto them, and prayerfully they will do back unto you as you have shown them. And then if not, let's use our words. Let's have a conversation and say, hey, this is what I
yes.
need from you. This is how I need it from you. And if they respond, then they your people. You know,
Yeah,
if they respond, then they your people. But if they're not receptive to it, then maybe they not your people. And sometimes you have
right.
to love people from a distance. But
Yes,
yeah, but I just
set those boundaries.
absolutely love that you had that insight and that wherewithal, even as a child, that mama, I'm just gonna love you, and you gonna love me, and you, and you.
Yeah, I definitely was that child. That's just what I did, and I guess, over time my mom came around, but there's so much um that I can add to the book. I'm also thinking about very seriously to, continue to write and things like that. But a friend of mine, she mentioned to me about a series, and I'm like, a series, I never thought about that. But it's always people that you and I
But it's
say a friend
always
of mine, but it's always people that don't don't really know you but see something in you.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
um there's more to come, as far as me writing more. So,
Yes. So
mhm.
let me tell y'all real quick. First of all, thank you all for being here. Thank you so much. Thank you, Rachella, for being here. But thank you all, viewers, for being here. Thank you all for being patient with us as I struggled through. Thank you so much. And so a couple of things. I want to tell y'all how to get my cups and how to support. But I also we want to reiterate how to get her book. But I also have a book to give to somebody. And I got to think who I want to give it to and how I want to give it away. So give me a minute. I'm going to think about that, how I want to give this book away. But as far as my coffee with Charlie mugs, you can get you a mug, whether it's black or white. The black mug is 10 ounces. The white mug, I believe, is 7.5, something like that. It has coffee with Charlie. Grab your cup and pull up, sit back and relax. And you can go to coffee-with-charlie.printify.me/products. I got my mugs, I got a journal, I got a t-shirt, I got some sweaters, I got a hoodie, I got a bookmark, I got another type of the mug that's hot or cold that you can carry around.
Oh yeah,
I got some socks. So just go support,
you got
support,
everything.
support. Yes, and I'm thinking about going on there because everything has like my logo on there. So
Uh-huh.
what I'm thinking about is going in and just doing some other fun stuff, stuff not just with the logo, but
Mm-hmm.
still have to do with coffee, that type
Yeah.
of thing, but just outside of the logo. So I think I'm going to work on that. And then, so tell them again where to get your book from.
You can get my book off of Amazon. Just type in my name, Rachella Manns. Also, I'm on Walmart.com. It is in a form of the ebook. And I'm on Facebook and Instagram, Rachella Manns.
Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna I'm gonna do that real quick. Okay, so let's see. So for those of you who are still here with us, I need y'all to interact with me in the comments. And Rachella, how they gonna get this book? Somebody gonna get a free book.
Let's see.
Um, I normally
Well, let's see. Does anybody know the name of the book? Do you remember the name of the
Yeah.
book?
Okay. So without us like repeating it, holding the book back up, whoever can type in the comments first what the name of the book is, even if you just get some of it right, but you're the first one.
Yeah.
I have a book to give to you, and it doesn't matter where you are. I will mail it out to you if you're not local to me. I will mail it out to you, and we'll go from there. We just want to bless you with a copy of her book, and looking forward to more works from you in the future. So I think that's it. I think we've covered
Yes,
it.
most definitely.
And I don't have anything else unless you have
Well,
something
thank you
else.
so much.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to say thank you so much, Charlie, for this this moment. Many blessings to you on your endures and everything. So this was a pleasure to be here, and I just thank you so much for giving
Yeah.
this opportunity.
Yes. And thank you for sharing your time with me. I appreciate you too. I don't take it for granted because our time is important.
Yeah,
So I appreciate you so much for sharing
right.
your story and letting me talk to you about your book. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay. And hold on one second. I'm going to end the recording, but don't leave. I need you to stay in the studio while
Okay.
your side uploads. So, and I can edit all this stuff out, like this conversation that we're having. I can edit this out.
Okay.
Yeah.